Hey my lovely YouTubers, welcome back to my YouTube channel with me, your girl Morgan Tracy J. And today I'm coming with a video all about how to know if the vision or the idea is from God, okay? But before we get into this video, boo, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube family and you check me out over on the gram. All right, now let's get into this video. All right, but I'm gonna give you a disclaimer before we get into these tips because I wanna tell you, no matter if your vision was from anyone else, God or anything else, it's always going to require faith. No one is going to come and push you into your dream. No one's going to come and push you into that vision. So if God gives you the vision, it's still going to require faith on your end to trust the vision and to walk in it. But I'm going to give you some signs where you can kind of know that this is from God. But even if you get all these signs, boo, and you still decide not to move, that is on you, okay? I want to tell you that many times people of the world already know, hey, I need to jump and leap. I have to have a leap of faith. I've got to do something crazy. I've got to trust the universe, as they say. But a lot of times Christian people will sit and not trust and not even move because they're like, God, when are you? Is this you, God? Is this you? When in reality, God is still saying this still requires faith. And I have to get you to understand, you will never go forward if you do not go forward in faith. So if you never have faith and never apply that faith, you're always going to be in the same place. Everything I have created, I've created in faith. Okay. And I have trusted that the Lord called me to do that. And some things he didn't, some things fell off, but some things stuck. And so that's why I'm going to give you these tips now to help you. So the very first tip is to know the vision is from God is because first thing, it is bigger than you. Key factor here. It's bigger than you. It's not all about you. And this is something that I had to realize that my vision was from God. It was to help God's daughters. It was a deeper purpose in it. It was a deeper meaning. It wasn't to get me rich or to get me known or to get me views and subs. No, every video that I've created, even from the beginning, was always to influence, to empower, to inspire his daughters. And so I will say, no matter what you're doing, even from my ministry and everything else, you have to always know that it is bigger than you. And so when you first get the vision, if the vision is bigger than you, if it's for someone else, if it's to impact others, if it's to impact the youth, build a shelter, whatever, if it's bigger than you, if it's to build a boutique and help girls feel confident, if it's to build a business in an area that predominantly doesn't have people of color in that area, and you're a person of color, whatever it may be, boo, I want to challenge you to understand that if it's bigger than you and it has a bigger purpose and a bigger meaning, that is a key sign that it is from God. The next tip, boo, is it scares you, okay? And what I mean by it scares you, it looks impossible. Okay, this means that the dream is so big or the vision is so massive that it looks impossible for you to accomplish. And to be honest, boo, that's about right. Because it's going to take God's power and God's resources and God's strength for you to accomplish this thing. Okay, so I want to say the tip number 2 is it's going to scare you because it's going to look impossible. It's going to look impossible to go after. It's going to look like, how would that ever come? How would it be me? And when I was in college living in sin, guys, I got a vision about my dream. And guys, I had never ever thought this for myself. It was me speaking to a room of women. I had never ever thought this for myself. I never conjured that up. At the time, I was focused on getting a degree and becoming a physical therapist. So none of that ever came up in my mind. So when I had this vision, I kept thinking, where was that from? I didn't necessarily think it's from God, but I just thought like, what was that? Why would I do that? It scared me. And that's the thing, is it's bigger than you. And it's something outside of you. And it's going to look impossible. It's going to look impossible from your naked eye and from where you are today. But you have to understand that God is omnipotent. He has so much more resources and things that you can't even conjure up yet, okay? So don't try to base it off of just your natural eye. So if it looks impossible, say, yeah, but you know what? To man, things are impossible, but to God, they are possible. So I'm going to trust the Lord for this. So that's another sign when it looks so massive, when it looks impossible to the natural eye, and it scares you. It like makes you want to run the opposite way. And I honestly did that for about a year. I ran the opposite way from the vision that God showed me. I tried to run away from God because I didn't want it, because it scared me, because it didn't look like anything I had ever seen for myself, right? It didn't make sense to the life I was living. It didn't make sense to my future goals and plans I made for myself. And so that's a big factor with your vision. It's bigger than you. And also, it can look impossible to the natural eye. Tip number 3, guys, is it stands the testing of time. This is how you truly know a vision is from God. And you don't really know it until you start applying faith on this tip. So it stands the testing of time. And when I say that, I'm actually saying that no matter what season of life you go through, that vision is still withholding. You're still moving forward in it. It's still showing fruit. It's still showing up in your spirit, in your dreams. It's still around you. It's still embodying you, right? That is how you know it's a vision from God, because it's withstanding the test of times. And I will say, if you're a girl who wants to build a boutique and God told you 6 years ago, and it's 6 years later, and you still kind of want to build that boutique, but you have not moved forward, you have not seen no fruit from that, you have not decided, you haven't built a name, inventory, you haven't started nothing, then I will say that vision could have truly been from God, but it could have been your lack of faith to believe it. So I want to tell you though, what your big focus is you want to actively pursue the vision, and that means it will withstand the trials, it will withstand the not having money, it will withstand the pandemic, it will withstand anything. And that is how you know a vision is from God. Just because someone says no doesn't mean that's the end of it. You keep going and your vision withstands it, and you look up and the people that told you no don't even matter no more, because you got so much more yeses. And I want you to realize that is a vision from God. It withstands, and you have to understand, it says that when God sends out his word, it accomplishes what he sends it out to do. And even if it's not an audible word like I'm speaking right now, but when God sends out his vision, when God sends out his dreams, when he sends out a message for you, it's going to accomplish what he sent it out to do. And I want to tell you, you have to realize that. And when I was 22 years old and I had my vision, I want to tell you, my life has never been the same. God's word did exactly what it said in the Bible, that when he sends it out, it accomplishes it. When I got the vision at 22 years old, my life has never been the same. I looked up a year later and my life looked like it flipped upside down. Things that I was once involved in, I no longer was. Things that I was running to fulfill me, as in men and sex, I couldn't run to those things anymore. Things that I felt so worthy in, which was sororities and money, no longer was worthy in anymore. Drop those things off. I want to tell you, when you are walking in a God-given vision, it is going to change your life, but it's going to look like your life flipped upside down for a little bit. It's going to look like you're behind in life. It's going to look like you're going through these valleys while everybody else is flourishing, when in reality, you are truly going to flourish. It's just maybe not in this season. This is the pruning season. And so I want to tell you, when you have a God-given vision, boo, what you do is you don't run from it, even though it looks impossible. Every no and every obstacle you face, you come back with more of a momentum, more of a faith in God. Next thing is, you realize that faith is great, but you got to take action. Just like I have the faith to believe God called me to minister and talk to you guys, I have to take action by recording these videos, right? So you have to decide to take action. And last but not least, you have to realize that when God sends out his word, it is going to accomplish. So if God said you're getting a new home, if God said he's getting you a new car, if God said that he's going to build a boutique through you, if God said he's going to heal your family, if God said he's going to do something for you or for your life, for your ministry, then you have to believe that. So ladies, I hope this blessed you. I will say, if you are somebody that wants to build your online thriving ministry, and don't forget, ministry is your life. It could be a boutique. It could be a blog. It could be anything out there, a podcast. Check out the link in the description box, because I have a monthly membership. And there I teach women how to do exactly what I do, but at a quicker pace. And so you don't got to learn all the struggles that I went through. You can get the tips right here, get tutorials, free ebooks, workbooks, and so much more inside of my membership. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the description box, and hopefully I'll see you inside the membership. Well, ladies, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Trust that God-given vision, boo.